So sorry. I was having a few technical difficulties. It's all settled down now. So, hi, how are you? How was your day? Hi, Cynthia, Livni, Emily, Ada. How are you? How are you feeling today?
Fine, teacher. Thank you.
Fine, good to hear. Good to hear, Emily. And you, Cynthia, how are you today? How are you feeling? I think there's an issue there. So, Ada, Livni, how are you? Oh, okay. Sorry. That's okay, Cynthia. Thank you. So, Livni, Ada, Andy, hi, how are you? How are you feeling today?
Fine, teacher.
Fine, good to hear, Livni. So, in today's class, we're going to review your writings from yesterday. And actually, I have a question, quick question. Did anyone figure out where we put the Oxford comma in the exercise I sent through WhatsApp? ¿Alguien descubrió dónde se pone la coma de Oxford, como se le llama, la que les comenté el día de ayer? ¿Dónde se pondría en alguno de esos pequeños renglones gramaticales o ejercicios de gramática? Anyone figured it out?
In the first sentence.
Exactly. And where?
Before the end. I don't remember the sentence, but it's before the end.
100% correct. Very good, Emily. Remember, we use the Oxford comma mostly to talk about when we're listing a number of things. For example, today I ate a banana, a watermelon, an apple, comma, and something else, right? That's the Oxford comma. Remember, that one's optional. Ese es opcional, pero se utiliza mucho. Y en documentos un poquito más oficiales, sí es como mal visto que no la tenga. So, keep that in mind. Having said that, sorry. Having said that, let's begin today's class. So, I'm going to share my screen with your writings. And you can tell me where we left off. I think. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So, right here, where did we leave off? I know we did this one. I'm not sure if we did this one. ¿Hicimos este acá?
No.
No. Awesome. So let's review it. When I was in the high school, right here, tiny little issue. When we're talking about high school specifically, we commonly don't use the. We just say high school. Well, when I was in high school. So this one isn't wrong, but it's something common we'll hear and read constantly in English. So keep that in mind. When I was in high school, I remember that we had a paraescolar. It's a subject, but we had to choose, there we go, to choose where we wanted to be. So can you help me? The person that wrote this sentence here? Are you here? The person who wrote this?
Yes.
Awesome. So what did you mean with this? ¿Qué querías decir con esto?
Como que teníamos que elegir dónde queríamos estar.
¿Dónde queríamos estar en esta clase? O sea, en lugar
Yes.
de sentados o dónde querías poner la clase.
No. ¿Qué opción queríamos? Es que no sé cómo explicarlo. Había como 3 distintas paraescolares y teníamos que elegir qué opción quería.
Oh,
No sé si
okay.
me explico.
Yeah. Thank you. So then, just to clear a bit of context, then this isn't wrong. 100%. Esto no está mal, pero to avoid this kind of confusion that we might see, we could say, ¿me podrías repetir el contextito?
Es que había 3 distintas opciones de paraescolares y teníamos que elegir dónde queríamos estar, en cualquiera de esas 3, pero no puse todo ese contexto para no alargar más el ese, porque el tiempo era corto.
There we go. So, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Because then we could add this tiny little part. Esta pequeñita que ya nos dice, hay varias de paraescolar. Hay algunas opciones de paraescolar. Y podemos elegir en cuál queríamos estar. And then I'll remove this. So yeah, tiny little bit of context. Oh, sorry. It was here. To make this make a little bit more sense. Like I said, it isn't wrong the way you wrote it, but if we add a little bit more context, we can help the reader understand. So tiny little thing. It isn't wrong. Please don't go with the mentality that it was wrong. It isn't. It's just something to make it a bit more clear. Just to say. So they put me in the option. There we go. So we could use either or. Podemos utilizar cualquiera de los dos. They put me in the option that I didn't choose, or they put me in an option that I didn't choose. Both of these would be okay. So, time context that I didn't choose. It was so very horrible. So, it was so horrible. This one is correct, but it's very weird to hear. ¿No? Lo vamos a escuchar muy pocas veces cuando estamos hablando en de forma más, ¿cómo se dice? Que no es profesional, ¿no? Con amigos, con familiares, when we're talking with people, it was so horrible because it was art. Needs a little bit something here. It was so, it could be so horrendous. That's one's most used. Like I said, this isn't wrong. Esto no está mal, pero no lo escuchamos mucho. We would most likely hear it was very horrible because it was art and dance, shalala. So, tiny little note. Remember, this isn't wrong. No está equivocado poner it was so horrible. Solamente que no se escucha tanto en el inglés hablado como it was very horrible. Pequeña notita por ahí. Because it was art and dance, and I hate dance. No? Right here we're using what kind of comma?
Oxford comma.
100%, even if we're only listing 2 things. So, let's continue. I was only there for a year. Fortunately, in my report card, the subject was approved. So, since this thought ends here, como terminamos este pensamiento aquí, y nos seguimos con otro que está relacionado, pero no es intrínseco para lo que vino antes, we can change this comma into what's the name of this? We saw it yesterday.
Dot.
It's not a dot.
Point. Pineapple.
What's the name of this? El puntito. Le decimos normalmente dot. We can also say point, which is the most uncommon. Es la que menos vamos a escuchar. A point, but it's also called a point. It could be a dot, or the most common one, the one we saw yesterday.
Period.
Exactly, period. We have a tiny little period. And then this one like this, just to join them, so it can have a bit more sense. So fortunately, in my report card, the subject was approved and I could change to, vamos a cambiar este I could de yo pude. it isn't wrong again, but something that we might hear a bit more commonly in this type of situations, en las que tú tuviste la oportunidad de poder hacer otra cosa que tú querías hacer más que otra. Podemos decir, I was able. Same meaning, exact same meaning, exactamente el mismo significado, solamente que escucharemos de manera más común, más frecuente, esta de aquí. So, keep both of these in mind. None of them are wrong. I want to remind you that none of this is wrong. Just tiny, tiny little things that are a bit more common. So, and I was able to change, I was able to change to another parascolar called community service. I could enjoy other subjects. Yo pude disfrutar de otros temas aparte de este, so yeah. Even I, aquí, pequeña cosita. What do we need to do here? How would we say this in Spanish? Anyone?
Incluso fui.
Incluso fui a competir o yo. If we start with the pronoun. Misma palabrita. Incluso. I even. In English, it's most common, it's more common to use it this way. Pequeñas cositas que son más comunes. Remember, this isn't wrong. Even I went to compete in literature. It isn't grammatically wrong, but the most common version of this would be with this temporary adverb before the main verb. So keep this in mind. I even went to compete in literature representing my high school, and I won second place. Let's add an and. Nada más para agregarle la. What's the name of that comma? Oxford.
Oxford.
Exactly, Oxford comma. So overall, very, very good. Extremely good. So the ones on blue are simple recommendations, just so you can have a bit more context or give a bit more context in some parts, and so it can be read a bit more easily, you know? So tiny, tiny little things. Nothing is grammatically wrong, absolutely nothing. It's just the question of common usages. So overall, very, very good. Thank you. And let's move on quickly to the last one. Hi. When I was in high school, I was really bad with exams. Right here, same thing. With the exam, we can omit this one. Se puede omitir. Is it wrong? No. It is not wrong, but we could omit it. I was really bad with exams because I felt nervous. It didn't matter if I had 2 hours to figure it out. Excellent use of this of the what? What's this called? Anyone remembers? ¿Cómo se le dice al punto y coma en inglés? We saw it yesterday.
Semicolon.
Exactly, semicolon. Excellent use of the semicolon. Excellent. Most of the time I failed. I remember that I had to take right here. Yeah, I remember that I had to take classes on Saturdays for around a month of chemistry and physical. Right here, physical. What do you mean by physical? Do you mean physics or do you mean physical education? I don't know if you're here. I think the person that wrote this isn't here. So, I will take it that this is physics, de física, no de educación física, sino de física la materia. Why? Because it's with chemistry. So, tiny little change. Remember, this is a physics. And I have it right here. So, slight little change. Again, just because of the common usages. We put the name of the subjects first, and then use a. What's this? What's that called? Anyone remembers from yesterday's class? Nope. Very similar as in Spanish. This one. Apostrophe. Muy similar en español. This is the apostrophe. And what does this mean? ¿Por qué lo ponemos aquí? ¿Por qué lo puse acá?
Because it's una apóstrofe posesivo.
Exactly. 100% correct. Es un apóstrofe posesivo. And we could call it a possessive S. Why? Because when we have a possessive S or an apostrophe, actually, let me do it. Because this is very important. Remember, if we have a word that ends with an S, si la palabra original termina en S y queremos utilizar esa como un posesivo, le ponemos el apóstrofe después de la S. No lo separamos y no le agregamos una doble S. Physics doesn't exist. Así que tomen eso muy en cuenta. Si queremos hacer una possessive S acerca de algo que termina ya con una S, le agregamos el apóstrofe después. Tiny little thing to remember. So, let's go back like this. So, we mostly use this little structure, right? Putting first the subjects, then the possessive apostrophe, and classes on Sundays for around a month. And this one, very good, use of the semicolon. I wasn't bad for those courses. I want to ask what they mean with this one, but the person isn't here. So let's continue because I made a lot of good friends. Well, comma, very good. It's not the best way to meet people, comma, excellent use. But for me, it was great. The teachers were really great. Right here, slight repetition of great. We can change it maybe a bit. Recuerden utilizar las mismas palabras constantemente. Eso sí van a estarlo buscando dentro del TOEFL. Así que tengan eso muy en cuenta. Van a estar buscando pequeñas palabritas que se repitan. Así que hay que evitarlas. It was great. The teachers were really great. They had the time to explain all the questions I had. And when I did both exams, I didn't fail. I passed with 8, and I can now say I understood everything. And right here, you placed this little additional context within what? What's the name of this? Igual, similar al español. ¿Cómo se les llama estos? We saw it yesterday. Muy similar al español. Nope. Parentheses. Igual que el paréntesis. Parentheses. Remember that. So, we cannot add context after the final period. So, we put this before, in that class or at that point in time. The context before the period. So, overall, excellent job, everyone. Do you have any questions about the writing?
No, teacher.
No? Awesome. So, then we can move on to today's quick little lesson. So give me just one second. So today's lesson, something you already use constantly, which are two words, two very particular words. This one's pretty easy. So don't worry. Then we'll move on to the book because this is a book subject. So keep this in mind, a book topic. So please, Andy, do you think you can help me reading this slide?
Yes. Two plus much usage in affirmative to show more than we want. I have too much work to do.
Very good. So, as you see, one of the words that we'll see today is to. I know it might seem a bit redundant since we're already on level B2, but it's a subject on your book. So, we're going to review it quickly. So remember, too much means to show more than we want, to show that we have a lot to do. For example, with this context, I have too much work, I have too much, I don't know, water in my basement. Remember, when do we use much? With what type of noun? Anyone remembers?
Uncountable.
Exactly, uncountable. So keep this in mind. Anytime we need to say about something that is uncountable and you have too much of it, or a vast amount of it, que tengan una gran cantidad de eso, que sea algo incontable. For example, sand, rice, water, every single liquid, uncountable. And you can call it too much. So let's move on to the next one, please. Aranza, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Use it in negative to show we need more than we currently have. I don't have too much time.
Very good. Thank you, Aranza. So, too much, in negative, we need more. Necesitamos más de esto que estamos hablando o de esto a lo que nos referimos. I don't have too much time. Se me está acabando el tiempo. No tengo suficiente tiempo. That's another way to say it. So, remember that. And again, much, uncountable. Time, uncountable. El tiempo es incontable. ¿Por qué? Porque es una palabra generalizada. We cannot count the time. We can count the minutes. We can count the seconds. We can count the hours. But time, as a general term, we cannot count it. So keep that in mind. Cynthia, could you help me with, oh yeah, sorry. Emily, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Two plus many. Usage in affirmative. To show more than we want. I have too many things to do.
Very good. So, when do we use many? With what type of noun? With what type of noun do we use many? Anyone remembers?
Count.
Exactly. Countable nouns. So, something that you can physically count. Sandwiches, bottles of water. You can also count the bottles of water, remember. Now that we have certain countability, we can count the uncountables. Si le agregamos algo con qué medir los incontables, los podemos contar. For example, bottles of water. We'd say too many. Diríamos too many bottles of water. So keep this one in mind. Let's move on to the next one. Slide usages. Please, Andy, could you help me with this one?
2 plus many. Use it in negative to show more than we need. She doesn't need too many shoes.
Very, very good. So, almost the exact same as too much, but with a countable noun. Thank you, Andy. I'm gonna move a bit quickly because you already know every single part of this. So, to plus adverb, please, Aranza.
To plus adverb. Usage in affirmative. Use it to show more than we can do. It's too early to go work.
Very, very good. Thank you, Aranza. So, when we use an adverb, it's mostly going to be about time. So, when we use an adverb here, we're saying that it's before something, right? Or too late. For example, we're increasing the amount of time that we're talking about. Estamos incrementando la unidad de tiempo o el tiempo del cual estamos hablando. If we say we are early, that means we are around 5 or 10 minutes earlier than we needed to be. Significa que llegamos unos 5 minutos, unos 10 minutos antes. If we say we are too early, we're saying that we arrived 30 minutes before the date or 50 minutes before it. Le estamos alargando un poquito de tiempo. Le estamos diciendo, ok, no solo fue temprano, fue muy, muy temprano. Same usage here, demasiado temprano. Same thing happens if it's the other way around. Too late. Estamos agrandando esa parte de llegamos tarde o llegamos muy tarde. So, very, very good. Thank you, Aranza. Emily, could you help me with this one?
Yes. To plus adverb. Usage in negative. Use it to show there is more we can do. It's
Very,
not.
very good.
It's not too late to start your own business.
Thank you, Emily. So, when we use it in the negative, so most of the time it's going to mean that there is more that we can do. It's never too early to go cherry picking. Nunca es lo suficientemente temprano para salir a esto, ¿no? Slight little idioms, slight little phrases, common phrases. So that's the most amount of time that we'll see the to plus the adverb using the negative. It's not really a negative. It shows that there is more we can do. So thank you, Emily. Livni, could you help me with this one?
Yes. To plus adjective. You say in affirmative is to show more than what is allowed. He is too young to drive.
Very, very good. Thank you, Livni. So when we place a negative after the to, we're increasing, estamos incrementando, estamos haciendo más grande ese adjetivo. He's not only young, no solamente es joven para manejar, es muy joven para manejar. We're increasing that adjective. We're giving it a bit more emphasis. We're increasing the amount of time, the amount of what the adjective is describing. So that's the to with an adjective, and let's see the usage in negative. Finally, to finish this one, Andy, could you help me with this? Andy, are you there? I think not. So, Aranza, could you help me with this one?
Yes. To plus adjective. Usage in usage in negative. Use it to show more shall be allowed. You're never too old to enjoy life.
Very, very good. So, thank you, Aranza. When we use it in negative form, it's used to talk about showing something that, for example, you're never, oh, I have a message. Oh yeah, sorry, don't worry, and no trouble there. So, when we use it in a negative sense, decirlo así, when we use it in negative sense, the to plus an adjective means that we're increasing that adjective in a positive light. So what does this mean? You're never too old to enjoy life. Nunca eres demasiado viejo para disfrutar de tu vida. So even if this is negative because we add a certain connotation with the adverb, si agregamos un pequeño adverbio que tiene cierta connotación negativa, aún así puede que, y la mayoría de casos va a ser que no se vea de forma negativa. Or is this negative? No. This isn't a negative sentence, but it does have a negative adverb. That's the thing. So when we add it with, and when we add the two with an adjective and a negative adverb, it turns into a positive sentence. So keep that in mind. Now, having said that, do you have any questions with the two words? I think not. So let's move on to the other one, and then we'll finally finish with some book exercises. Just one second. So, sorry. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So, the other little word that we'll be seeing today and we'll practice on your book is enough. So, last one was Aranza. So, Emily, could you help me with this one?
Yes, sir. Enough plus noun. Usage is in affirmative to show satisfaction with something or someone. I've done enough exercise.
Exactly. Very, very good. Thank you, Emily. So, enough plus a noun, you're satisfied with that noun. Estás satisfecha con lo que haya sucedido. In this case, enough exercise. I've done enough exercise. Ya hice suficiente ejercicio. Estoy feliz con la cantidad de ejercicio que ya hice. So, there we leave it. And that's it. So, very good. Thank you, Emily. Livni, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Enough plus noun. Usage in negative to show unsatisfaction with something or someone. I haven't eaten enough ice cream.
Very, very good. So, like we said, if we said in the previous one, in the positive usage, that we don't have enough of something, that we are satisfied with what we've done, right here, it's the exact opposite. We can't have enough. No tenemos suficiente de la cosa que estamos hablando. For example, nunca he comido suficiente helado. Necesito más. Estoy insatisfecho, estoy insatisfecha con la cantidad de helado que he comido. Necesito más. That's the usage for enough in a negative sense. So, let's move on. Thank you, Livni. Aranza, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Adjective plus a noun. Usage in affirmative to show satisfaction with something or someone. You are good enough for you.
Very good. Thank you, Ara. So, when we're using it in affirmative, most of the time, we show satisfaction with something or someone. We say that, for example, you are smart enough. Ustedes tienen una gran inteligencia. Son suficientemente inteligentes. You're pretty, very smart. You are, I don't know, fast enough. Son muy, muy rápidos. Son muy, muy rápidas. Son lo suficientemente rápidas. That's the meaning behind this enough. It doesn't have a negative light. no tiene un, por así decirlo, sentimiento negativo como lo podría tener en algunas regiones hispanohablantes, de ¿eres suficientemente rápida? O ¿eres suficientemente rápida? Puede tener algunas connotaciones negativas en el idioma español, en el idioma inglés no las tiene. Es más para decir, eres muy, muy rápida, eres muy, muy rápido, eres suficientemente rápido. So keep that in mind. It's pretty affirmative. It doesn't have the negative connotation that we have in Spanish. So let's continue, let's continue. Emily, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Adjective plus enough. Usage in negative. To show unsatisfaction with something or someone. Those shoes aren't clean enough.
Very, very good. Thank you, Emily. So right here, this one does have the negative connotation because it's in negative, it has a negative sense. So we don't have enough of something. So no está suficientemente adjetivo. For example, right here, those shoes aren't clean enough. No están lo suficientemente limpios, les hace falta limpieza. That's the meaning behind this one. So let's continue. We're almost done. Ya casi terminamos. So, Livni, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Adverb plus enough. Usage in affirmative to show satisfaction with something or someone. The music is loud enough.
Very, very good. Thank you, Livni. So, same thing as before. When we have an affirmative usage for the enough, it has a positive connotation. The music is loud enough. Está lo suficientemente alta. Está bastante alta y está bien. No a ese nivel, déjalo. It doesn't have the negative connotation that we mostly have in Mexico or in some other Spanish-speaking countries. No tenemos la misma connotación negativa que puede llegar a sentirse en lugares hispanoparlantes. La cual es, esa música está suficientemente fuerte, ¿no? That little connotation, that slight negative connotation, isn't really a thing in English. The meaning here, it means, el significado es, está bien, está suficientemente fuerte, ¿no? Hasta ahí déjale, no hay que subirle más, no hay que bajarle más, ahí está perfectísimo. So, slight little connotation, positive connotation. Let's move on to this one. Ada, could you help me with the penultimate one?
Yeah, adverb plus enough. Usage in negative to show unsatisfaction with something or someone. It's not quite annoying here.
Very, very good. So, negative connotation. When we have unsatisfaction, again, it's not really something or someone, but more akin to something or what happened, the context within a certain situation. So, for example, right here, it's not quiet enough. No está lo suficientemente callado. Aún hace falta que nos callemos un poquito más. Hace falta que le bajemos un poquito el volumen. There is a negative connotation. Así que tengan eso muy, muy en cuenta. And let's move on to the final one. Please, Emily, could you help me with this one?
Yes. Enough plus no noun. Usage with implication. No need for a noun if meaning is clear. Example, that's enough.
Very, very good. Thank you, Emily. So, the last little definition or usage for enough is enough by itself. Enough solito. What's the meaning here? Párale. Suficiente. Ya, hasta ahí déjalo. It depends on the context, but anytime you hear this, that's enough, or just enough, that means stop working. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop. That's the meaning here. It has a strong implication. En español, nosotros lo decimos como suficiente. Párale. That's the meaning here. So keep this one in mind. and all of the others. Do you have any questions about the word enough in general?
No, teacher.
No, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to share my screen with, there we go. Me sacó de Richmond. Give me just one second. Sorry. Just a quick second, it's loading. So we need to see all of these words, well, these two words, because they are a topic on your Richmond book, and also they're going to appear on the exam. So a quick little refresher about these words and what they mean. So just one second. There we go. So I'm going to share my screen to finish today's class. Let's do this little exercise. So now that we've seen the common usages. Oh, sorry. There we go. Now that we've seen the common usages, let's put them into practice. So, there we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So, keep this in mind. 2, more than necessary. Enough, the necessary amount. Not enough, less than necessary. Necesitamos más. Necesitamos más de lo que estemos hablando. 2 can go before an adjective or verb, and enough or not enough after an adjective, but before a noun. Slight little things. These ones are very, very intricate, and you already have them pre-memorized from all the reading and writing you've done. So let's do this little exercise about do and enough. So please, Andy, are you here? You told me through chat you were having some issues, so no worry. Please send me through WhatsApp. Number 1, and how many other here? 4 of you. So yeah, please do number 9. Yeah, please. Andy, do number 9. Aranza, please do number 8. Emily, please do number 7. Livni, number 6. Andy, again, please, number 5. Aranza, number 4. Emily, please, number 3. And Livni, number 2. So the other way around. So what we need to do here is find what's wrong with the sentence. It mostly has to do with enough or to. So at 7:55, we'll review each one because this one might take a bit of time. Oh, Andy left. So the ones that were up to Andy were 9, if I'm not mistaken, and I think 5. So let's do 5 and 9 together just so you get a hint of how to do it. So number 5, I have too many friends at school. I feel really lucky. This one doesn't have to do with do. Actually, this exercise is kind of weird now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the issue is too many friends. This one has to do with common usage. I don't like this exercise a lot, but we need to see it. How could we change these two? If we need to eradicate this one, si tenemos que quitar este, too many friends, it's not very common. It's not a common usage. What would be more common? ¿Cuáles les sentirían o creen que le quedaría un poquito mejor aquí? Exactly. What's that? Sorry.
A lot.
A lot. 100%. I don't know why it says it's an exercise about two and enough when I don't like this exercise, but yeah, right here it would be a lot. Oh, sorry, a lot of friends at school. Slight little difference. And let's do number 9. I gave up Chinese because it was a too difficult language. Right here we do have to move some things and change some things. Do you know what? ¿Saben qué se podría hacer? I can tell you that the issue is in this part of the sentence. Porque era demasiado difícil, le podemos cambiar. How could we change this one? Number 9. Can anyone help me? Si queremos decir que dejé el chino porque era muy difícil. Because right here we're oversharing words. Estamos utilizando demasiadas palabras. What could we do here? ¿Qué cambiamos? First things first, we need to remove one letter. Tenemos que remover una letra. Which one could it be? Una letra que de plano no tiene nada que hacer ahí.
A.
Exactly. A. This one goes. Se va. 100%. Porque cuando tengamos A, tú, se quita la A. 100%. Recuerden, A nos está diciendo acerca de una cosa. Una cosa. A plane, an apple. Pero, si estamos utilizando el to, ¿de cuándo estamos hablando? ¿O de qué estamos hablando? Estamos agregándole intensidad. Así que nunca va a ir un a, to. ¿Y qué otra cosa podríamos cambiar para que quede bien? We could remove something else. What else could we remove here? We already removed the A. ¿Qué otra cosa podemos quitar? Para que quede bien la oración. Anyone? Nope.
Maybe language.
Language. 100%. That right there is causing nothing but noise. Está causando nada más que ruido. I gave up Chinese because it was too difficult. Estaba demasiado difícil. Era demasiado difícil. So, that's why we would change this one. Así podemos cambiar esta. ¿Por qué? Primero, no necesitamos el A. El A nunca va a ir con el to. Nunca de los nunca. Another thing. If we say it was too difficult language, it's wrong. Why? Because that language is causing nothing but noise. No puede quedar ahí. Si queremos decir que algo era demasiado, otra cosilla, ahí termina la oración. So, it was too difficult. Una pequeña opción o algo que podríamos hacer para alargarlo si queremos y necesitamos incluir el language. Podría ser. It was too difficult of a language. Eso se le podría poner. Para si queremos tener todas esas, puede quedar así. It was too difficult of a language. But, most commonly, de forma más común, too difficult. Y hasta ahí termina. So, please, send me your sentences or questions through WhatsApp. Mándenlas por WhatsApp. I'm going to go here because it's already 8 o'clock. Como ya son las 8, voy a mandar esto por WhatsApp. I'm sending this through WhatsApp just so you can send me your sentences, and we'll review tomorrow this tiny little subject. So, do you have any questions? ¿Tienen alguna pregunta acerca de lo que hemos hecho el día de hoy?
No, teacher.
Sure.
No, awesome. So, I think then we can leave this class up to here. And yeah, rest a lot, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, Livni.